Welcome to Cedar Club, Quincy's favorite local bar. A friendly corner bar with a laid-back atmosphere and affordable drinks. It's the perfect spot for a great time. With entertainment galore, including shuffleboard, golden tee, pool, foosball, and winning gaming machines. Cedar Club's latest edition is the best spot to catch your favorite game. Great drinks, great friends, and great times. Cedar Club, 20th and Cedar in Quincy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Megan Costigan and Catherine Meckes. So, Catherine, you are with the Community Foundation, the CEO and director, is that right? I always get these things mixed up.
You call me whatever.
All right, titles are super important.
CEO is great.
Okay, but I don't want to mess it up. So, and then Megan, you are with the Tracy Foundation.
Correct, yes.
And together, you're working on something very, very cool together. Tell me a little bit about it, because I know if I start, I'm going to screw it up. So.
That's right. So Tracy Family Foundation and Community Foundation have partnered on a brand new program for Quincy called TAG, and that stands for Teens Active in Grant Making.
Okay.
So both of our foundations, the public knows us as grant makers, and we are also here to invest into the future of our region. And so we're going to take that down to the next generation and actually teach young people about the community, about philanthropy, and then put that into action by actually giving them a grant making budget and setting them loose on making some decisions.
Cool. So then, what would a typical day, if I was a kid getting into this? Because if I'm hearing this and I'm putting myself back in my kid's shoes, I wasn't initially concerned with philanthropy, giving back. You know, I wanted to ride my bike. I was out and about. So what would a typical day look? What would it look like for a kid joining this program? Is there a typical day? What would you think would be exciting for them?
Well,
yeah.
Whoever wants to answer.
You can go into the specific details, but it's really about getting the young high school kids exposure and learning about the impact or the needs in the community, and then letting them have an impact on those needs.
Okay.
Figuring out kind of what they want to learn about and what are the gaps and what are the challenges that youth are facing in today's environment,
Sure.
And then how can we help them.
So what is the age group? Because I think maybe I was thinking younger, but high school kids? Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I was a little bit more interested in it by then, I think. So it's a good age to get them introduced to it.
Yeah, and I think that young people are interacting with philanthropy way more than they think. I think we hear this word philanthropy and it sounds very big and very aspirational, but What we really want to demonstrate is that young people of all ages are interacting with nonprofits in the community on a daily basis. And so we'll really start at the groundwork, really talking about what is a nonprofit, what nonprofits are in the community, what are they doing, and then we really want to hear from these young people, these teens, on what issues that they're facing.
Sure.
And how do they want to help themselves and their peers. And so it's going to be a fun learning experience for all of us. But the most exciting part is really culminating in that grant making.
Yes.
And there's going to be some tough decisions because we have some really wonderful nonprofits doing some really great work impacting youth, and they're going to have to, divvy that money up.
And that will be for real life,
real money,
non-for-profit organizations that they have to choose who they want to support and why.
Yep, correct.
That's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, big decision-making skills are going to be they're going to become very heavy in this one, I think, because I just can't imagine deciding. But very, very cool. Okay, so is this program? I assume it's coming up soon.
Yep, so we actually opened applications today.
Okay.
So we're hoping to get a good, robust response from young people here in Quincy. And then we will start meeting once a month, September through May. And each month we'll have a different topic, a different theme, where they're really kind of learning those foundational skills and then putting them into action in the spring.
Okay. So what are there criteria for applying for a position in the TAG program?
Yeah, the age criteria is anyone going into high school, so freshmen, and then going into their senior year of high school. Okay. And it's open to both QND and QHS students.
Okay. Any kind of GPA or anything they have to have, or just anybody interested in,
Yep.
Anybody interested in
anybody interested.
That's excellent. How do they register? Who do they reach out to?
Yeah, so they can head to the Community Foundation's website. It's mycommunityfoundation.org/tag. Try to keep it pretty simple. And all the information's on there about the program. There's a calendar, so you can see if the dates and times will work before you apply.
Okay.
And then there's a link to set up your account to submit your application. Pretty simple application, too.
Yeah. And then the Tracy Foundation, I know, you've had a long-standing, reputation of helping, giving back to the community. So what do you think overall you hope that kids get out of this, or what do you hope they take forward with them?
Yeah, we really hope that the students are just learning about philanthropy. And like Catherine said, that is a big word. And what does it mean?
Right.
But there are so many wonderful organizations in these students' backyard that they don't know about. Or, like she said, they don't know that they're even, interacting with on a daily or regular basis.
Sure.
And so we hope that by giving them exposure and experience on lots of different skills, they either maybe take a career path into philanthropy,
Sure.
or they just become lifelong philanthropists.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I love the initiative. I think it's going to be a great program. I think you're going to have a great turnout. So, anything else you want to talk about with TAG program before we wrap it up? I don't want to cut you off if we want to keep talking about it.
I think that we're just excited to see how this first year goes. It's going to be a really fantastic learning experience for all of us. And we have high hopes. We know we have some really bright students, and we really believe that young people can and should have a voice in changing their community for the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Okay, so one more time, how do people learn more about this, or where do they go to register?
Yeah, mycommunityfoundation.org/tag.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate you girls coming in.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it. If you're interested, reach out for the TAG program. Seems like it's going to be a great and worthwhile program. So thank you so much for coming on. Next up, Britt B and Ashley and Coffee Talk. Stay tuned.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Welcome out to Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer and it feels so right. I'll meet you out on Broadway underneath Shamrock Light. We're gonna have a good time on the patio tonight. There's a party down at Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer on a champagne night. We're feeling all alone and you got no place to go. So come down here and drink a beer on Kelly's patio. Kelly's a fun place to eat and drink. 2902 Broadway.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be. Before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
And now it's time for
Coffee Talk
with Ashley and Britt B. We're here to spill the tea. Thanks to EFB. Cheers, my
Cheers.
love. So, lots to talk about today. First and foremost, Datum.
I'm been a mess all day.
Yes.
Datum is our David Adam.
Mm-hmm.
We call him Datum because that's
Datum
the way
at
our
Muddy River News.
yeah, that's the way our emails work out.
Yeah.
You know, you do like a little bit of the first and last name, but he was Dad.
Yep.
Datum.
He was Datum in many forms. Of course, his last day because he's going to work for the city of Quincy.
Yes.
And what is his? Do we know his title? Probably doesn't matter. Really, I mean, he's not here anymore, so he's not as cool. Sorry, Datum.
He is going to be a part of the planning commission.
Okay.
So basically, you remember when we had Bevy and then we had Parrot?
Yeah.
Well, now Parrot has moved into Bevy's job, and David's going to take on some of Parrot's job.
All right. Well, I have no doubt he's going to do fantastic things. I think everybody can read the article where we all give our well wishes.
Yeah.
And those definitely, they're heartfelt and genuine because we all, as we've said before, we may not all see eye to eye all the time, but we have a genuine respect for everyone here at Muddy River News. And David, of course, was kind of our quote-unquote voice of reason.
Yes.
He had a way of keeping things very even-keeled, even if he didn't agree with you. Always very respectful.
Yeah.
He's going to be missed for sure.
I agree. I said I wasn't going to cry. I don't even know, I guess I just don't like change. Part of me doesn't like change, but then I know that the change is good for both him, the city, and I know that Muddy River News is going to change for good as well.
Yeah, I think, and I don't want to speak for you, but he was here from the inception with you and Bob.
Yes.
So it's kind of like...
so now I'm just left here with Bob.
I wasn't going to say anything. Oh, he's throwing something. It's a good thing he has really bad aim. But I think, the foundation of Muddy River News wouldn't be what it is today, of course, without you and David and Bob.
Well, thank you.
So now one of the three amigos has flown the coop.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
it's the same with everyone, though, yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not going to, again, onward and upward. That should be, everybody's goal is to, changes are going to happen regardless if we like them or not. But how you overcome, adapt, and do better with or without, some of the mainstays that you're used to, I think is kind of what makes you a really solid organization.
Yeah.
And I think we have very solid foundation, in large part, thanks to David.
Yeah.
So he's not left us in a place where we can't find someone to fill at least some of issues.
Yeah, but he did leave us with absolutely no pickle shots.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. David doesn't drink.
He doesn't drink.
But we have a tradition here during our club muddies. It used to be. He would tell people, well, you can't go on without your pickle shot.
Yes.
Because he kind of poked fun of the fact that we liked our pickle shots.
We like our imbibing.
Yeah. Especially during the club. That's when.
That's what it's there for. It's a laid back, very easygoing.
And I think for someone like David, who is so very professional in his background, it was sometimes hard for him to swallow, especially when it came to Club Muddy, because, it's a different kind of news. It's not necessarily news. It's a podcast. We're talking about news. It's very much modeled after both Club Random with Bill Maher, and then we now added the whole guest appeal, so a little more like Smartless-ish, because we have the three of us, and
Do you think they would like it that we're comparing ourselves to them? They'd be like,
they'll probably
who
sue
are
me.
these people?
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. No, I look up to you guys.
Yeah, listen,
don't sue me.
Imitation is the best form of flattery. But yeah, I think that.
But the pickle shots for the staple, where he was
Yes.
like, wait, so we're doing this? And it's like, well, you don't have to. But we did, and we enjoyed it, and we, like I said, may not have always agreed on that. But now the universe is telling us that we,
with David leaving,
Yeah.
also left our pickle shots.
Yes.
They gave me a spicy one, and I didn't really know that it was spicy. And hello, they are super spicy, but I guess it's because there's a shortage.
Yes. So
Probably because of us.
Yes,
No.
maybe. I went to the liquor booth and normally stocked up on our pickle shots. And Deuce is like, I can't keep them in. I went to other facilities that, aren't our sponsors, but they don't have them in either.
Nobody has them. Yeah.
Not the little ones, not the big ones. When I say the big ones, I'm talking like liters.
Yeah.
Those you find those in the bar. Many bars around here carried them because it was just a shot that blew up.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
It became a really quickly set in trend. Like I had one in St. Louis and then was kind of hooked because I love pickles.
Yeah.
And of course, when you're having
think-
shots, it's better than Fireball in my opinion.
Yeah.
Come at me. But then they're just not as, I don't think they hit you quite as hard. They're
No,
just kind of a light.
it is, I think 15% alcohol, so
Yeah.
it's not as bad. I think Quincyans love their salt.
Duh.
Like it's just, you know, if you think about it, it's.
Yeah, I would eat a pickle right now if there was one right in front of me. I just love
salt.
the pickle and the garlic.
Well, I always
Or the
think
salt
of
and garlic.
our, you know, margaritas at all our favorite places, the chips and salsa, and then, yeah, I mean, the foods and high sodium.
Yes.
We love them.
Yeah, going back to health when we were before we got going, I was like, well, we'll never be as healthy as or as young as we are today. We might be, but we're gonna have to get better.
Not in logically, but
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always grow to be. I mean, you can always better your health.
You can
I
always
think.
better yourself in general terms, and I think that's, you know, to bring it back to David, I think that's what he was doing. He is doing. I loved when he would sit here while we're doing either Coffee Talk or Club Muddy, and then give us
The looks.
he would not only give us the look, but he would be chewing his ice, so we could tell when he was very displeased about what we were saying. But also when we were done, he would give us his honest feedback on everything we said, and he always has a really good perspective on things. Again, like I said, even keeled. So I think that's going to lend really nicely to what he's going to be doing with the city.
I agree.
Yeah, we definitely need somebody who is.
I still feel like there's no place for politics in local government. I personally feel like there's just no place for politics in general.
I hate
lately.
politics, really, but I think that as long as we have them, we got to have the right people in there.
Yeah.
And by the right people, I mean people that aren't yes people.
Yeah.
And David is definitely not
No,
a yes
he is
person.
not a yes person.
If that's what you're expecting, good luck, City of Quincy. No, but I think, you know, Mayor Moore and the rest of the crew, the aldermen, I think they're all going to do really well with having someone with his level head and perspective and ability to carry out effective communication. Yeah, I'm really proud of him. I'm bummed for us, but only because we'll miss his shining face and ice chewing and great
Crumbling of his
great
chips.
perspective. Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure to check out his last two stories. They are on the news site. They were on there Tuesday morning. So there was one about, they're both feel-good stories. One about in Payson, some people came together and got a pickleball court in that area.
Yeah, I saw that. Speaking of pickles, huh?
Yeah. So check out that story because I don't have the details in my head, but it was a good feel-good story. I know that a lot of people traveled around to get to a court, and now they have courts in that area, so that's cool.
Yep.
Another story that he did was the boba story. So there's a new boba location.
It's right across from Tangerine on 36th and Main.
Which is the old TCBY, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That
And then
was
it turned into some kind of personal finance thing for a bit. But if you look at the building, it is so conducive to a little coffee shop or boba shop. So good for them. Good luck.
And yeah, have you had boba?
I am not a fan because I'm really weird about textures.
Oh, that's what I think too.
It's almost like you're biting on skin
Yeah.
or something. Now,
But
my
I think you
kiddos
can get
love
other
it.
drinks without the boba in there, I do believe. But yeah.
Nora just eats it by the cupful. She just
So
loves
does
it.
Mayla.
Yeah. And then Nora, Claire, she just likes all the drinks with all the things. Doesn't matter what. She just wants to.
I'm like, looks like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just
Not my gig, but maybe it's.
But it's cool that we saw a couple move here
Yeah,
that
new
was
business.
not, they were not originally from Quincy. We love to see, new, thriving people.
Yes. And hopefully, putting our food and beverage tax to good use,
Yeah.
right? Drawing people here, hoping that they stay. And
You had a great minutes with the mayor yesterday. We were talking a little bit about the food and bev tax because that was brought up in city council recently. And the big note that I was like, whoa, was so they allocated $250,000 towards your Bet on Q program and your Leg Up programs. And those programs are used to primarily create tourism. Now, if we remember back in the day, the Dizzy, it was initially sold to us that way.
Yeah.
So that was like my biggest concern was, hey, $250,000, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of money.
Sure.
But it's not that much when you think of what was collected. And in the fiscal year of 2025, they collected, I believe it was like 1 million, almost
like
1.8.
Yeah. And Mayor Moore said they estimate it to be around 1.8.
And I know they have, other plans for it. It's just That's government, though. You know, they'll sell it. Kind of got sold one way
Different
to
bill of goods.
us.
Yeah.
And everyone said it is a slush fund, and I mean, it kind of still is.
Yeah.
I mean, even if the stuff is allocated for good things, that's in the eye of the beholder, I think we're still like, I don't know. It's weird that you were sold one thing and told one thing, and now it's being used for different things. Again, I know these things need to be taken care of,
Sure.
and it's just.
I think when we're looking at, so now it sunsets in 2030, is that right?
Yeah, it
So-
originally sunsetted July 2025. They extended that. It's still at 1%. I know that there was talk about possibly trying to raise it to 2% because we took away our grocery tax.
Yeah.
Illinois decided to take away the grocery tax,
Sure.
and Quincy decided, I think, not to implement one. So that's where they were kind of wanting to maybe raise, but instead of raising it, and I'm not positive on that, they just extended it 5 extra years. I mean, why do you need to raise it when you're getting close to $2 million a year,
Right.
you know?
Well, and I think probably the question would be, you know, to pose to taxpayers, you know, let's again ask for transparency on where this money is going, where it has gone, and then make the informed decision on if we want to continue that and then vote on that, right?
Yeah.
Because when it comes back around in 2030, we'll have a better idea of where the money has gone, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we'll have some transparency there and some accountability, and then we can say, well, that's not really what it was meant for, or we need to have these people pay in as well, or blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
I don't see it ever going away. You can't take away that much of government income at this point, especially when now we're relying on it for things other than tourism.
Yeah.
So that's my piece with that.
Yeah. But hopefully hopefully we will get to vote on it at some point, right? If we decide that.
You will get to vote through your alderman. Your alderman will vote on
Gotcha,
it.
yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, lots of things. It was
All
a
the
really
things.
good conversation.
Yeah.
But I think, David, check out his last 2 articles, but also check out the article that we posted with all of our well wishes. It doesn't do enough to explain how lucky we are and were to have David, but it does give you maybe a little bit of insight as to the man he was while he was here and how much he'll be missed, and how lucky the city of Quincy is to have our very own Datum.
Yes.
Right? On that note, I think let's cheers, right?
Yes.
All right, that does it for today's
Coffee Talk.
Catch you next time.